Hey, welcome back. Before I get into my apology for being gone for so long, I'm going to ask anyone who's new to the channel, if you do not care about such things and do not want to hear me talk about astrology, because I am definitely going to be talking about astrology, please go down to the description box and click on the timestamp of what it is that you would like to hear or where you would like to start in the reading. There will be oracle, there will be tarot, but first it's going to be astrology. For those that are not new to the channel and you know I like to talk, and because you've also stuck it out with me even though I've been missing for 12 days or something like that, I owe you an extreme apology. And I just want you to know that I had every opportunity to at least even just take out one card if I couldn't do a full reading. The energy has been low for me. Life has been real for me. It's been an emotional roller coaster along with actual work things. And if you're on this channel, then I know you can relate and empathize, but at the same time, that's no excuse, because I am here to, spread a message when it comes. That being said, if I couldn't dive into it, it would have never been a message that was as authentic as you deserve. I don't have any other excuses. I don't really have an excuse, period, but I do want to apologize. And if you've stayed with the channel, even though I've been missing for several days, and you've heard me from the beginning say that I'll never leave without telling you, then thank you. Thank you so much. And again, if you're new to the channel and you're hearing me say all of this, probably this person really apologizes a lot and doesn't stop talking. You're right. Just you wait. That being said, again, thank you so much for being patient with me. I am so sorry that it's been so long. We are going to do better. We are. So, that to the side for now. I'm going to dive into astrology. Again, if you don't want to hear the astrology, go down to the description box. There will be an oracle timestamp and a tarot timestamp. And then I'll also, of course, put a short out there and see, or maybe two, to see if you just want a quicker message. You can always watch that. Okay, so let's get into it. And I'm going to shuffle while I'm talking about the astrology, so that way that part's done and we can get right into the reading when we're done with the astrology. As of right now, as many of you know, the sun is full on in Aries. I think it's at 22 degrees. I mean, it's fiery Aries energy. The moon, however, is currently in Capricorn, has been since yesterday, or is in Capricorn until around tomorrow. And then we have, let's see, Mercury, which is in Pisces, won't be for much longer. Keep that in mind. Venus now in Taurus. Mars officially in Aries, which it's where it's supposed to be. It's where it is exalted. Jupiter in Cancer, which can make for some big emotional shifts. Saturn in Aries. Uranus in final degrees of Taurus. This is going to be a big one too. Neptune in Aries. Pluto, the one that's leading it all, in Aquarius, and has been for a while and will be for even longer, 20 more years, something like that. It is a generational determinant, I should say. What that means is regardless of all the other movements of the planets, all these transits that take place, this one, Pluto in Aquarius, it's the life changer, no matter what your sign is. It's radical authenticity being the name of the game. And this is the one that makes your shifts, any of the shifts that you're making, more permanent because of that. Absolutely altering how we collectively collaborate and share information. Hence, the term that everybody's been hearing, and for those of us that are old enough to remember such things, the age of Aquarius. That said, Aries, there's a Aries stellium taking place right now, which is also a game changer, and especially because we are in this age of Aquarius. So we have Saturn, Neptune, Mars, who is, again, home in Aries, exalted in Aries until mid-May, and is being fueled by Aries, I should say, in determination and willingness to set new endeavors into motion. Then Chiron has been in Aries and will remain for a minute. It's been in Aries since and being influenced by Aries and therefore influencing us since 2018. All with the sun, of course, like I said, shining bright in fiery Aries energy, also for another week and a half or so. Then back to Mercury, it is officially cleared its shadow, and it is thank you time, because that Mercury retrograde in Pisces, yeah, I mean, in the shadow phase, might be why you haven't heard from me. I will blame Mercury. How about that? I'll be that person. I'll be that person today. But it cleared its shadow of that retrograde officially 1 to 2 days ago, which is fantastic, but can also feel very jarring, like maybe even like some emotional whiplash, to go from, well, if you're like me, crying and not knowing why you're crying, like why are you so emotional, and to all of a sudden you're very passionate and fiery and like, no, because it's this and it's that, and I'm not gonna blah 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 blah. Okay, Mercury, because this is about communication. It's about communicating how you feel, right? Yeah. So out of the shadow, and then in 2 days, moving into Aries, which is why I said you might be feeling the emotional whiplash already. And then when it's joining the others in Aries, it's going to be moving that needle even more. The needle of the compass, the needle of the odometer, however you want to think of this, or however you want to picture it. For all of us even more, to step more into this kind of courageous thinking and direct communication, and definitely quicker decision making. Then today, when I said I cannot go any longer without doing a reading for the peoples, today Mars conjuncts Neptune in early degrees of Aries, which is a meeting of drive or action and dissolution that can feel inspired, really. Then in a few days, around the 16th, there's a Chiron Cazimi, where Chiron and the sun perfectly align pretty much. And I'll let you look up Chiron and the significance of Chiron. I'm not going to get into all that part, but it is sitting in the power of the sun. And when this takes place, around the 16th, it'll be sitting in the power of the sun that's in Aries. And it's going to create this healing moment, a window to let like anger go and the pain to be the lesson that was needed. And also an opportunity. Again, this is a window. It's not like it can be a more permanent way of being if you step into this kind of perspective. But it's a window to be thankful for the next chapter that you now have the courage to step into, because before you didn't, most likely. And then following that directly, like the next day on the 17th, next Friday, you got 5 planetary bodies, all joining the sun in Aries. So you'll have a new moon in Aries, Saturn, Neptune, Mars, Mercury, and Chiron. And then that new moon in and of itself, not to mention that you got all these planetary bodies in there. And then I think there's at least one day where there's 7. I think that's happening in the next couple weeks too. But anyway, not only is all of that major and is going to feel like a major impact on the spiritual level, on the mental level, on the physical level, in all ways, this new moon that's taking place on the 17th, it's about primal instincts, like when it comes to advocating and protecting yourself. So across the board, I think a lot of astrologers are seeing this one as what can be considered the most powerful new moon of the entire year when it comes to setting intentions. And it gives this kind of boost for walking into that next chapter. Now, how you walk into that next chapter is where the next couple of days after the 17th, you're going to need to be on your game. And what I mean by that is it's going to be about reaction versus intention. And intention is always better, okay? But it's because around the 19th and 20th, or 19th through the 20th, there's a Mercury Mercury is conjuncting Saturn. Saturn is the teacher, right? It's the lessons. It's the here's your quiz for the month kind of thing. Mercury, the communicator, it's just the technology, the how you use your words. Okay. So this is important in this conjunction because you may feel explosive and like not only explosive, but like you are exploding, but against a still wall. Saturn and fire. Remember, Saturn is in Aries. And at this point, Mercury will be in Aries, right? So this is like fire. And you have a choice here. You can communicate, you can speak up, and it is all within the spirit warrior mode, Neptune and Aries, okay? It's all from a place of like your soul center, your heart center. But how you speak up, how you do it is going to be important right now during this time. Because again, you can do it with intention, which means you can be fiery, you can be direct, you can be, don't mince your words. Or, and sorry, I should say you can do that and it not be from a place of reactivity, but from a place of not confidence. What's the word I want to use? Something like a place of assurance, right? Like you've done, remember going backwards where Neptune and Saturn both were in Pisces, right? All of this spiritual inner work, all of this dreaming, like what do I want my life to look like? Just trying to sift through all of the years of who you are and who you want to be and all of that. Well, then they moved into Aries, Saturn and Neptune, right? And now you've got all these other planets, again, Mercury moving into Aries, and now it's going to conjunct with Saturn, and it's about the communication, it's about this. So you've done all the dreaming, you've done all the work, you know who you are, even for a side message, even for those that feel like, I don't know, I'm confused. That was probably that Pisces energy. It was definitely some shadow energy. You've known all along. You've known who you are. You've known the direction you want to go to or go into. And it's just been a matter about how you execute that, right? And fortunately, and then perhaps unfortunately, which is why it's going to matter about intention versus reactivity. There may be people, places, things. There may be a noun or several that you have to shed in order to step into this next chapter, right? And a lot of times that means that we need to voice our things, if only to unburden ourselves. It is okay to do that, so long as you are doing it with intention, right? And again, not from a place of reactively, I should say, even. So keep that in mind around the 19th and 20th. Soapbox done. But the good news is, so here's the good news. While that can be a possibility where you have to be very careful, and I'm more inclined to say as long as you're speaking from your heart and you're speaking from your truth and you're not doing it in order to hurt someone, you're not doing or saying anything with malicious intent, then just be free. But for those that this may be a little bit more where you need to be more sensitive in how you speak and move forward around the 19th or 20th, keep in mind that the sun is moving into Taurus at the same time. And with Venus in Taurus, the sun moving into Taurus, and then you have Uranus finishing up its final degrees in Taurus. At this time, you will have some grounded energy, so that way it's a little, it may just be like you could feel as stubborn as a mule, for lack of a better term, but or phrase. But yeah, you'll have some grounded energy to help keep you more balanced. Okay, so that's kind of like what I was warning you about, is kind of the shadow side of Mercury conjuncting Saturn, right? Like there's a positive nature to that conjunction, which is you're about to be able to speak freely, bravely, with courage, and with directness. And then the shadow side is be careful because you might explode and you might say something that you wouldn't otherwise say to somebody. But at the same time, this is part of the process this month. This is part of the process of 2026. You are moving into your new self. You are moving into your new life. How you do that is always best with intention. With intention, again, that does not come from malicious or a malicious intent, but instead comes from heart center, soul center, goodness, for the betterment of self to the ill of none, walk forward. Anyway, so after this, around the 24th and 25th, is the shift. It's the shift. Uranus completes its 8-year cycle through Taurus. And it's going to enter Gemini, which starts the rapid reinvention that will shape the next 7 years or so. And then that means all the outer planets are, if they're not already, they're entering fire and air. All of them. And we all know what air does to fire, right? Burn, baby, burn. Burn, baby, burn. It's all I can hear every time I think about it. Burn, baby, burn. Ashes. And then with love, I mean, it can be about passion. It can be about burning it to the ground because Venus will be in Gemini also on the 24th. And that's the truth of love. The Lover's card, that's Gemini. Venus is love. This is the truth of love. This is what makes or breaks, but it should, with all of the fiery energy, for those that are in or moving into their most authentic space, if you haven't already. This is about it can make an epic love that can stand the test of time. Old structures completely crumbling. And as we've all been talking about and feeling for like 2026, before 2026, in this age of Aquarius, it's a shedding of what no longer serves. A path of new, evolution of spirit and love, and a complete overhaul of how you've experienced love from before. How you've allowed yourself to not only consider life, but like dream it. And are now allowing yourself to move in life to actually experience it. So what is the overarching thing? Because I know that's a lot about astrology. It's a lot. I think I always go into 20 minutes or something. The overarching theme here is that it's all about action after dissolution. We begin the merging of structure and spirituality when Saturn and Neptune fused at that 0 degree back in February, March. But it's when structure, spirituality, dreams, fear, and faith, they all merge together. And now, and around this time, especially the 24th and 25th, the shift, all merging together. And here it'll all sit for a good minute. And now comes on top of that, Mars into its exalted sign of Aries. Then following into the next week or two after that, the other bodies entering into Aries. And if you're not hearing it now, you will be then during this shift, or you should. If you're paying attention, if you're open, and if you're on tarot channels, you're more open than others, the universe is going to be screaming, and really has been. The time for dreaming is over. Now you begin. This is the first brave step. Aries does not wait for certainty. Time is promised for no one. And Aries knows that. It's a warrior. It's the spirit warrior right now, activated by Neptune. So at this time, even without a complete plan, Aries is forcing us all to say it's shit or get off the pot time. It acts and corrects as needed. It's action. It's action oriented. So it's not like corrections aren't going to be made. It's not like there won't be a left turn when you were going straight ahead. But either way, no matter what, with all of this going on, this is the universe saying it's time for action and the movement is forward. There are no other options. So that being said, God, it's a lot, right? I mean, and if you haven't felt the intensity, I want to know what your secret is. Also, if you have been feeling it, if you've been going through, whatever it is for you over the last couple of weeks, and that shadow of Mercury and Pisces, that retrograde that was taking place, drop a comment. Let me know, what was it for you? Because I could tell you, like, this has been killer for me, personally speaking. And I mean, it just doesn't even make sense. I can, like, in a day, I can sit here and feel a certain way, and the next day, like a light switch, it's like ever changing, right? And I mean, that's kind of what this year is all about. And you've got to be able to adapt and just keep moving through it and with it. But whew, it's not easy, is it? So yeah, drop a comment. I would like to know. I'd also like to know, like, do you want the astrology recap? Because I'm not an astrologer. So if you don't like the astrology or the recap that I get, I mean, I'm listening to who I consider the best astrologers ever. And you should be able to find them on this channel because the channel subscribes to them. But if you don't like it, if you'd rather just go listen to an astrologer and you think I'm just talking too much or not making enough sense or whatever, let me know. And or if you have deeper questions that you want to dive into, let me know. That's what we're here for. It's a spiritual community. And we are going through this together. I'm not an expert at anything. I'm just really sensitive to the energies, and I don't mind listening and sharing what comes through. All right, that said, let's do the oracle. I have not shuffled the tarot cards, so we're going to do the native spirit and the wisdom of the oracle, which this is the little pocket edition. You can tell by the shuffling. And I'm just going to ask spirit, you know what we're all going through. You're with us. We know you're with us. Whoa, that's way too many. I would like to keep that one, but if it's meant to come out, it will. Let's do one card, please, spirit, from the native spirit oracles. Oracle. Native spirit oracle. Thank you. Dream traveler. Dream traveler. I'm going to go ahead and get these cards out. And then can you give us 1 to 2, whatever is necessary? We're asking for guidance for this reading that is about to take place. Wisdom of the oracle. Wisdom of the oracle. Is there any other message that can help guide us through this reading that we're about to do for whoever is meant to hear this message, spirit? And thank you for everything. We know we are being guided into the place that we are supposed to be, always. I feel that. Flexible, which is definitely the name of the game. What did I say? I said you had to be able to adapt, right? All right. So, dream traveler. I love this card too. It sounds green. Isn't that gorgeous? As we're in spring and going into summer soon. Isn't that crazy? Like, I mean, we just started spring. I can't even feel this. But where I am in the United States, it's like hot. But this is what, I mean, I love this card. Dream traveler. You are a channel for spirit. Trust your intuition, hunches, and gut reactions. This is a visionary card with the message that you're on the right path, even if it doesn't always seem like it. Your higher self and spiritual guides, ancestors, and guardians are watching over you and supporting you. You are blessed, and you are a blessing. You are a dreamer in the most wondrous definition of the word. Your native spirit wants you to know, in earth-based tribal traditions, people look to those unique individuals who had the ability to journey during their nocturnal dreams to bring back wisdom and guidance for the tribe. The dreamers were able to step through sacred portals in the night to commune with those on the other side. You carry the energy of the visionary, healer, and seer. Watch your dreams. Messages from the Creator are flowing to you. The journey with this card. Before going to sleep, which means like what's guidance, what's a tool that you can gain from this, okay? Before going to sleep, place a journal next to your bed. Most dreams are forgotten within less than 10 minutes, so it's essential to record them as soon as you can upon waking. When the dream traveler card chooses you, it's essential to watch your dreams. Profound and even life-changing messages can come through. I love this card for this time because that speaks to from the dream to the action. You need to take note because you're being given a message and how you can apply it into your waking life. Okay. And then flexible. Let's look at flexible. That is Wisdom of the Oracle. Now I cannot remember. Oh, it's by number, isn't it? Yes, 19. 19, by the way. Which is a 10, which is a 1. Depending on how you think about it. And there is something about completion right now. I do think, honestly, we're going to see the death card in this reading, perhaps more than once. The Wheel of Fortune is like big flashing in my mind. The sun. It is about endings and beginnings. It's been about endings and beginnings. I mean, I started this channel in November 25, not long ago, right? And I think from the moment I started the channel, the message that has been repeating over and over and over again is transformation, beyond. And when you go and listen to other astrologers and other tarot readers, I think they get a similar kind of vibe. There's a day-to-day thing that takes place, messages that come out that's specific to some people. But then there's this overwhelming transformative energy that has been taking place. And we're like in it. It's now the beginning, and going from that 9 year of 2025 into this 1 year of 2026. That's also very important to note. And I think everything that's happening with Aries right now in April is, it's almost like not the catalyst, but it's kind of like the catapult you into that, which doesn't, full transparency, none of this actually, it doesn't mean that it feels good. It doesn't mean that it feels bad either. In fact, this emotional whiplash is a real thing. You can go from feeling like shit one day, like the most emotional, insane person of life, to the next day, 100%, you know what you want, you know what you're doing, you're going for gold or glory or whatever, right? However this applies to you. To the next day, like, I don't know, exhaustion even. I mean, definitely exhaustion because you're in this emotional kind of, you're pendulating. This is what's taking place. And that's part of the growth. It's okay to go back and forth so long as you're going back and forth forward, right? Think of it, the fire snake. We're in the year of the fire snake, right? Think of it like this. Is it a fire dragon? Fire snake? Whatever. Either way, I see it. I see the tail doing this. And so there's this going from side to side kind of thing. I don't know. I feel this. Yes, no. But either way, it is moving forward. End of. So there's comfort in that, right? And I think we're going to hear that in this card. I honestly don't know, but when I saw it, flexible and just everything that is taking place, as far as the astrology goes, I think, yeah. All right. So I'm just going to start reading. How about that? So flexible. The essential meaning here is teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. Forward movement in this sense, okay? The oracle messages, a tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane. Whereas a rigid structure, like a building, would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now. Willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. So you're not staying in place. That's not what it means by the tree. It's grounded in who you are, your core. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. for a relationship message, and I do read these because almost always another theme that has been common since I started this channel is the journey of what I call the divine feminine and divine masculine. And who you are in that, or who that is for you, or anything else, I can't say, but you'll know. And sometimes it's you, yourself, the two parts of you. We all have this masculine and feminine energy, okay? But the relationship message here, in every relationship, it's important to be open to new experiences and learning new things. Letting go of rigidity is what's required right now. You don't always have to be right all the time, do you? It's okay to come to a happy compromise. You can still get your needs met. It's a beautiful day when you meet halfway. The appearance of this card in a reading could also signal that you have met someone new who may not be your type, but who will turn out to be so special that you can easily release your old ideas about what sort of partner is right for you. Be flexible. You'll be happy you made that choice. Even when you have a clear vision of how you're going to manifest something, what it will look like, who will share in it, and what will then be available to you, you still need to relax and open up to other possibilities. Spirit may have a much better plan for you. It could be a job you hadn't thought of, a new source of money, or some other opportunity that eluded your imagination. Be flexible and remind yourself, this or something better manifests for me now. Then be willing to bend a little. Enjoy the miraculous results. Okay? There's a protection message in there too, but I feel like that's with the dream traveler. You need to listen. You need to listen. You need to be grounded. And there needs to be, easier said than done, a sense of secureness. Okay? Remember, you've done the Pisces thing. You've gone through the introspection. There was 14 years of foggy, like, what the fuck, right? Did we just go through? But you did that. You did the healing work. You did the dreaming, what life could be, what you want it to be. You're now in this age of Aquarius. You're now in this fiery energy where it's making it happen. And there's no way that you get to sit back on this. So the flexible part doesn't mean that you don't do anything. It means you're grounded in yourself as you move forward. Okay? All right? I think this is going to be the thing now. Just keep moving forward. And so long as you're moving forward, yes, it can be scary. Yes, it can be painful. Yes, it can also be exciting, and it can also be, beautiful. And in fact, I think when you allow yourself to step out of the emotion a little bit, because everything we do, we tie to emotions on some level. But if you allow yourself to step out of that a little bit, and you kind of give yourself the big picture of your life, those in it, those that you don't want in it, those that you want to add to it, whatever. Work, love, family, it doesn't matter. It is beautiful. Even the most painful things can be beautiful, because even the most painful things allow for opportunity. And that's a hard lesson to learn and accept. But when you step out of it a little bit, you see it. When you look back on your life a little bit, you can see it. It can be the most horrible thing that you can even imagine can happen to you. And there's this ripple effect. If you're flexible, if you're strong in your core, okay, right? Or grounded in your core. This ripple effect where you can see how even the most hurtful, the most unimaginable, the most painful thing that humanity can experience, and how it just ripples out. And it changes not only your life, but the lives of everyone else that it impacts far and wide. And there's something about that is just, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Doesn't make it any less hard, doesn't make it any less sad or painful even. I mean, that's not what it's about. It's both can be true. Something can be horrible and still the magic that can transpire afterwards, the growth that can transpire within you, how the energy can be transmuted, how in a moment someone can smile at you and it changes your perspective for that moment, right? Which then changes the next step that you make or how you smile at somebody. It's all relative. Anyway, I'm going to stop because I'll be on a soapbox forever about that. And you came to get a tarot reading. So I think I'm going to use the Wild Reflections. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, that's what I want to do. The Wild Reflections as our foundation for the reading. And again, we're just going to say, Spirit, any messages that we're allowed to know, first of all, whoever needs to hear them, please let them come through the cards. Thank you so much for being with us. And we have this guidance for the reading about listening, whatever's coming through the dreams, the messages. And here we are doing this tarot reading, which is definitely all about the messages. And I just ask that you please help me to help whoever needs it. We'll see what comes out. I feel this is a transformative time. It is a time that you need to be sure in yourself. Wavering is not an option right now. Emotional roller coaster is fine. There's a difference. There is a difference. So, let's get to it. Yes? One card at a time, please, Spirit. Let's see what's happening. What's happening right now? Who's this message for? Where are we at? Messages, flexibility, adaptability. Definitely adaptability. Forever changing. Where are we at, Spirit? Talk about, wow. I want you to, okay, you see this card? Now look. First card out. How you like that? The Hangman. Definitely about flexibility, adaptability, groundedness. I mean, this is a yoga pose. I don't remember what it's called. Might be reverse tree, something. I don't know. Honestly, I'm making a joke. It might be that. I have no idea. I am a yoga person. I just don't remember the names of poses. I just like the flow of it. But the Hangman. All right. This is where we're at. Finding some stability. That's a lot. Can we, I saw it. Sorry. Because I saw it. All right. 3 cards came out together. Knight of Wands, Hangman. Knight of Wands is a knight of action. You see movement. This is a different Knight of Wands. This is a movement of like calmer waters, kind of like a 6 of Swords, right? 9 of Swords. So Knight of Wands, 9 of Swords. That might be that pendulating of emotions. And then what? The Sun. I feel like so long as you're moving, you're moving through, okay. Yeah, you're moving through these emotions. This flexibility, this groundedness, this is what's allowing you to move forward. So, Knight of Wands, 9 of Swords, you're also having a lot of anxiety about the movements that you're making. Again, this, right? But that Sun is there. This is action. This is time. This is time. Okay. Someone feels like they're also like in the middle of the storm. In the middle of the storm. Mm-hmm. 8 of Swords. Definitely. As above, so below. Finding out what you're made of. That's what I'm hearing. And then we have Empress and Seven of Wands. Finding out what you're made of. The strength to move forward, even when it's terrifying. Okay? So like, as above, so below, which is not a typical Eight of Swords card. Okay? But you see this, like, this feeling of anxiety, you know, looking in reflection and seeing like, this is how you feel on the inside, but you see on the outside, taking a beat, taking a moment, almost like even honoring these feelings, right? And it's okay. Yes, you can honor these feelings. But with this Eight of Swords, you then have the Empress, and you see the Sun, this internal flame, that Aries, that Venus even. There's something about you know what has to be done, even if you don't want to do it, even if it's terrifying. And in the middle of the storm, kind of like in the eye of a tornado, right? There's this calmness, that hanged man, that yoga pose, that flexibility, those roots of the tree and the swaying of the branches, right? In the chaos of the winds and the rain, there is this peace and comfort knowing, peace and comfort of knowing you were never doing anything it's for, sorry, this is a little bit of a channel thing. It's for your highest good. And I say that with the Empress after that Eight of Swords, because you have this, the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is very much doing the hard thing and doing it with faith, knowing that you're moving forward. It doesn't feel stable. It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel balanced. I mean, you look at those little sticks, right? But you're doing it anyway. Let's see. And we're going to clarify some of this, get more into it, I should say. Yeah, Queen of Swords. There's definitely a sense of knowing here. Not a sense. The Queen of Swords is sitting firmly in her sense of knowledge, in her knowledge, in her truth. This is your truth. A call to action too, with that drum. I mean, it's a repeating message, right? Four of Wands. Gathering the troops, perhaps. But it's definitely about, what does it look like? What does the foundation look like to you? Moving towards your foundation. And there it is, always and forever. Ace of Cups, always and forever, as in love somehow makes an appearance. Whether it's love for the self, love for your tribe, love for life. But it's coming in, and it's coming in hot. Knight of Swords. Which, funny enough, because I tend to go, right? Like, it was right here with the Knight of Wands. So, you definitely have movement, forward movement. And I feel like someone's going to get maybe a boost of confidence. You were always moving in your truth. You were always moving from your soul, heart center. And again, it can be about anything. I mean, now we do have this Ace of Cups here, which is a big, bold love, you know. I say bold. That's what I heard. A big, bold love. Justice. The balancing of the scales. The scales have to be balanced. I'm going to move these up. Why? Okay. The scales have to be balanced. Justice. Big, bold love. Swiftly. Moving in fast. Justice. Could be Libra with the Five of Swords. Aim is true, though. The Five of Swords is different in this one. I mean, this is like... This isn't quite like other Five of Swords where it's not malicious. It's a matter of like, I don't know why I keep having to repeat that. Sorry. I'm going to let Spirit move here. Five of Swords. What about, okay, Justice, Five of Swords. The battle. The battle, no. Man, truth, your aim is true. The aim is true. That's the justice. It's always been about your truth. It's always been about, you've been moving from a place of your truth. Something about... Here we go. So then we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is about putting in the work, nurturing and growing. The new beginning, your truth, was always about this. Seven of Cups. This is, again, a different Seven of Cups, though. This is like, it's not about choosing the option. It's about how all of the cups make a different sound, and all together, it's like this beautiful song, right? Like playing the drums. Yeah, if you think of like water and wine glasses kind of thing, right? Where you do the music, and it's not about one or the other. It's about how they all go together to make this beautiful symphony, this beautiful melody, song, whatever. And then you have the King of Wands wearing a Leo shirt. A lion. The spark of truth, perhaps. The work that was put in. Knowing what it was always going to look like. Oh. What it was always going to look like. Two of Cups. The spark of truth. What it was always going to look like. Oh. Eight of Cups, Queen of Cups. Moving forward to the Sun. Again, we have the Sun. I mean, we have the Sun and the Two of Cups too. Or walking away from. And then the Queen of Cups. She looks pretty content. What it was always going to look like. Someone was always going to walk away. What? The balance. Temperance. The alchemy, the mix. And the Ten of Swords, completion. Oh, this is what warriors are made of, is what I heard. This is what warriors are made of. It was always going to be this way. Someone had to walk away. Whoa. This is what warriors are made of. The perfect mix, the alchemy, Three of Pentacles. The work required. This is what warriors are made of. The putting in the work that was done. Ooh. Eight of Wands. I heard the word permanence, but that doesn't make much sense with the art depiction. Wow. And the Six of Pentacles. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here. And we're going to clarify a little bit. From the Three of Pentacles to the Six of Pentacles, which is about balance. And that Eight of Wands is definitely about balance. So if someone has been feeling off kilter, and then we have this Justice card, which is the balancing of the scales, and then Six of Pentacles is definitely a minor for justice. It had to happen this way. There had to be Ace of Wands in order for the new beginning, spring, and then you have the Magician on the bottom. And I just want to see Three of Wands. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Three of Wands. I want to clarify with the Tarot of Traditions. So I feel like you got a couple people here, perhaps more than two. You've got the Empress, you got the Queen of Swords, you got the Queen of Cups, and you have the King of Wands. I feel like, well, let's see. Let's see it. Either way, you have forward movement. You have the Knight of Wands. You have Seven of Wands. You've got Knight of Swords, which is fast-moving energy. And then you have the Eight of Cups. Wow, okay. This is about a healing journey. Three of Swords and the Four of Wands. The healing, the hurt and the pain of perhaps a home, a foundation, a home life. The healing that was necessary. All right, let's just give me the clarifier, Spirit. Tell me, what is this? What is the overarching message here? There's two butterflies in that Three of Swords, by the way. Three of Wands and Three of Pentacles. Three of Swords, Four of Wands. Three of Swords, Three of Wands. Three of Pentacles. Hate to say it, third party situation. That could be anything. Could be work. But it could also be about the healing, the work that was necessary, the path that was necessary to take, the work that needs to take place in order to heal. There's two birds and two butterflies. Sorry, in that Three of Swords. I'll show you in a minute. Which speaks to healing and hope, okay? That's what this is really about. Healing and hope. Queen of Pentacles. Minor for Empress. Under the Empress. Grounded in nature. This could be about someone's healing journey, period. The end of. The Moon, deep feelings, deep emotions. Uncovering what was buried beneath. Letting the sun shine through the moon. Letting it illuminate the path. The toxicity. Things that you were holding on to that you no longer needed to hold on to. Shedding of cycles, Yeah, Six of Pentacles. Reciprocity, balancing of those scales. Seven of Wands again. This is a different one. Prepared to fight, prepared to protect, prepared to defend. I heard someone prepared to run. Whoa. Legacy, that was Ten of Pentacles. That was two, that was a whole stack. King of Wands. Prepared to fight, I think. That is a king of action. We are in Aries. And there's the Five of Swords. Prepared to fight. Okay? And what are you fighting for? Who's fighting? Knight of Cups. For love. Someone is being asked to fight for love. Someone is being asked to fight for love. Someone else is being asked to be flexible and let this take place. The Fool. Someone is being asked to be flexible, and there's the King of Cups and the Page of Cups. It's definitely a masculine who's being called to love. Heart center and love. For in the name of love, the Fool. We're all fools in love. Oh, who is that? Pride and Prejudice. We are all but fools in love. Are we not? Something like that. And the Knight of Wands and the Five of Cups. And that may mean a mourning period and saying goodbye. I do feel like saying goodbye is a big part of this. All right, I would like to get one more. Yes. Sorry. Two of Wands. Yeah. It's about decisions being made. Decisions have already been made. I'm putting that back for a reason. Hold on. Okay. So, I'm going to ask Spirit, please. Here's what I'm feeling. Here's what I'm seeing. All right. And this is what I have to do sometimes. I just have to go through the cards and then it all just kind of hits in a way for me. Someone, whoever is sitting in the Empress energy, okay, I believe, is being asked to trust in what their inner knowing, their soul spark, their heart spark, their knowing what they've always known, what they always knew was going to have to transpire. This person is being asked to keep moving forward. Let your groundedness in yourself be what your truth is. Ground yourself in your truth. Ground yourself in your truth. Move forward in your truth. That is your personal foundation. For the person in the masculine, this King of Wands, that shows it twice now, who I think is the same as the King of Cups, okay, is being asked to fight for love. Move forward in love. Be this Aries, but be the passion, and remember too. It's all. I keep hearing remember what you're doing this for. That is a message that came out several months back, over and over and over again, and I feel like here we are, repeating. Remember what you're doing this for. Someone was always going to have to leave. And I feel like, someone was always going to have to leave. So tell me, please, Spirit. This is the Daydream Tarot deck. Sorry. Tell me just a little bit more, Spirit. So the world. That's it. Someone was always going to have to leave in order for things to move forward. The Tower. The weight of it all. The weight of it all. The Knight of Cups again. The Queen of Pentacles again. The Four of Cups. The weight of it all. And even in this, right? It's a balancing act of sorts. The weight of it all. Okay. Two of Cups again. The weight of it all. It was never, there was something that was never sustainable to begin with. There had to be a healing period, or the starting point for a healing period to take place, which meant someone was always going to have to leave. And there's the Queen of Wands. So we now have, and it landed literally right there. Queen and King of Wands, and then the Sun again. Someone was always going to have to leave in order for things to move forward, in order for healing to truly begin. The Page of Wands. It's a brave new world, I heard. A brave new world. And there you go. Ten of Swords again. A brave new world. But you see, it's like, it's the It's what warriors are made of. What warriors are made of. And you see walking forward on this path anyway. And there it comes again, the Knight of Cups. It really wants to come out. For love. You have to remember that love actually matters. Wheel of Fortune. Told you these cards were coming out. And I couldn't stop. The wheel moves. We're going to end it with that. The Hangman. We started it with the Hangman. We're ending it with the Hangman. I can't. And the Two of Swords. Decision made. Six of Wands. King of Wands again. Four of Pentacles. Yeah. You always knew. Whatever that is for you, whatever your truth is, you always knew. And we'll end it there. And I will not be gone for 12 days.